What's up, hunters? Seraph here. Just wanted to make a quick video on how to upgrade Safi weapons to get extra Dracolite from the Elder Melder. When you go to seal a weapon to turn it into Dracolite, you typically will only get one large Dracolite worth 20 points. There's a little trick you can do to squeeze two out of every weapon, and you will gain a net increase of Dracolite versus just the one. And here's how to do the trick. First thing, come to the blacksmith, whatever. That's what this person's called, right? Smithy? I never know. I forget names of things very easily. Okay. Go in here, press R3 on your controller, unless you've swapped it, and then it'll be L3, I think. Anyway, go into this menu, go to the tree, sort it by tree. And you actually may need to sort it by rarity first, but I think tree is going to be the way to go. The reason for that is then you can sort through all the Safi weapons for each category and not end up with something like the Kulftroth weapons getting in the way and so on. This is all Safi, right? Yeah, it's all Safi. Okay, so that's how you do it. Categorize it by the tree. The way this sorting thing works too is you could sort it by a whole bunch of different things. Just make sure the final sort you do is by tree. So, rarity tree. Now let's go and find the weapon. I've got shatter splitters. Okay, I've got 3 shatter splitters. I don't think I need 3. 2 maybe. I might make one that's all element. I don't know. Probably not, but let's just focus on this one. This one has a defense increase of 4. It says the awaken level is 4. And this one here has an awaken level of 5. Now if I were to turn in either of these two things to the Melder, they're only going to be worth 1 large Dracolite. What you want to do, and I would highly recommend you do not go any lower than 4 for the awaken level, is you want to go into here with this one. You want to go and put in the minimal amount required to upgrade it to the next level. It says until next manifestation down there, 8 points. So I'd want to put in 1 Dracolite there for 5, and then 3 Dracolite shards to make the next upgrade. By the way, there's a easier way to do this. I try to hold on to these 2 materials. I'll explain what for. But if you're going to upgrade other weapons, or you just want to make this quick, like let's say you've got a bunch of these weapons you're going to do this to first, and you're going to go to this the Elder Melder to convert them all to the large Dracolite. In the lower left-hand corner of the screen there, you can see it says Auto Select. Just hit the triangle. Make it easy on yourself. Just hit triangle. All right, let's hit upgrade. All right, as you can see here, this has 3 stars on it. That's 2. It's 1. I want the 3. I don't need the 3, but I'm going to grab the 3. The whole point of this is you want to reach 6 for the awakened level. You want to reach 6. So if I were to reach 5, that's not going to work. It has to be 6 and higher. This automatically is now worth 2 large Dracolite, and as you can see, those are worth 20 points. Now I put in a 5 and 3 ones, so basic math, 40 minus 8, 32. So I gained 32, and typically it's only going to give me 1 large Dracolite without doing this method. So 32 minus 20 is 12. I gained 12 points. That's 2 of those, 2 of those. So that's what we're after here, is to gain an increase in Dracolite overall. Otherwise, I'd be throwing away 12 points just turning this in as it is. So that one's done. No, I don't want to equip it. Let's go to another one. Dream Splitters, how many of those do I have? 3 Dream Splitters. Okay. Don't really need 3 Dream Splitters. At least I don't think I do. This is good for your storage too, by the way, if you got a bunch of these weapons you're holding on to. Let's just do... Let's do another 4. I kind of want to use an example of a 3 to show you what can go wrong. It's not going to work in my favor, but I kind of want to do that. Let's see if I got something that... Ooh, I need another Venom. I got one of those. Wow, I don't have a lot of those. I think I might need to go through my collection of those and see why I got such few amounts. I usually like to have 2 of every weapon, just to make different builds. Oh, let's try the lawn swords. Okie dokie. That doesn't look very good. There's gotta be something here I got a whole bunch of I can just burn. Maybe? Hopefully. Oh, hammers? Alright, let's see. Shatter Crusher. Huh. I'm going to figure out what I had first. Yes. Oh, Okay, maybe we got some luck here with the horns. Look at this. Alright, so I think there was a reason I was going for 3 horns, is to have different melodies, but I'm just going to go back to being 2. So here, I've got this one here, perfect example. Because I got 3 of the shadow horns. This one has an awakened level of 3. I'm going to take that, hit the triangle button so I can just autofill it. And again, there's a reason why I like shards and Dracolite. The 5 points and the 1 point, it's for this very thing right here. Because if I didn't have those, right? And I were to put in a large, then I'm losing a large to gain a large. I've achieved nothing. Achieved nothing. So this only really works to get a net result that's greater to gain Dracolite points if you have the regular 5 and the shards. If you don't have that, do some Safi runs and build up a good amount of those, and then don't touch them when you're upgrading weapons. Just focus on for upgrading the weapons abilities, the large and the rigid. Save this for, what would you call this? It's not really a cheese, it's just kind of a smart thing to do. And I'm not going to call it a cheese. Or maybe I will in the title, I don't know. Point is, hit auto select, go to upgrade here. And we got lucky. We got really lucky. See how it says Elemental Melody 3 and it got 3 stars there? Making it 6 is going to get me 2 large Dracolite out of this. But look at this, I got 2 1s. I spent 8 points in this, and all I got was 1s, and maybe this one was a 2. Then the net total would be 5, and it would still be only worth 1 large Dracolite. And then I would have put in 8 small Dracolite, 8 points from the smaller ones, and I would still only get a large, so I would actually only get 12, and I'd basically be robbing myself. Instead of a 20, a large, I'd be getting 12. So this is why I say, don't do this to ones that are 3 and lower. Only to 4 and higher. And you could sometimes still get stiffed on a 4. I've sometimes on a 4 only gotten a bunch of 1s, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And that only makes it a 5, and so I've wasted 8 points, but that's pretty rare. That's like a 1 in 20 chance of that happening. It's pretty rare, maybe 1 in 30. It's not gonna happen that often. But typically you want to take ones that are only awakened level 3, and just turn those into the melder for the large Dracolite. Just be done with that. And there's a way to, when you get the weapons from Safi runs, or when you trade in stuff, let's say you're trading in materials to get weapons, and then you turn that into Dracolite. It's a whole process. There's a way to know if something's worth more stars. Like, if you look at Elemental Melody 2, would you know that's worth 3 stars offhand? When you get stuff from Safi, it'll just say, oh, this particular thing has this particular name, but it doesn't tell you how many stars it's worth. You have to kind of know that. I'm going to put in the link to this video, in the text part of it, a list of all the ones I know of. I'm going to find online, or I've been keeping track, I got it somewhere. All the things that it wouldn't normally tell you what it's worth. Like, for example, attack increase 3 on there, you know that's 3 stars. And if it was attack increase 4, you would know that was 4, and if it was 5, you know it's 5. But things like Elemental Melody 2, you don't know how many stars that is. So I'm going to put that, all that stuff I can, in the description to help you out with that. And if I missed anything, I apologize. I think there's a database out there that might have it finally updated, but if it doesn't, I'll just put in everything I know, and I'll just continue to add to it for this video. So let me wrap this up. Let's add this 3-star one here. Okay, so now that's awakened level 6. No, I'm not going to equip that. Now we're going to go down to the melder. And let's do the sealing alchemy. We're going to seal, first of all, that one great sword I made where I turned it into a 7. Now, if you look at the result there in the middle, it says result, and it's got an image of the large Dracolite. It says times 1. I'm only going to get 1 if I were to turn this in. As you can see, it's a 5. Like, it's high, it's a 5. But it has to be a 6 or higher. So this one here that I'm going to turn in has a total of 6 stars on it. It's got the defense 4, and I guess the Nergigante Essence is a 3 actually. So it's got 7 on it. But see, can you see that anywhere here? I can't see that anywhere here. And that's what happens when you're getting this stuff from Safi. You can't really see what that's worth. You got to kind of just know. So the Smithy obviously will show you the stars there when you go to upgrade. That's kind of where I'm building my database from, or where I built the information of what each one's worth from. But when you're doing Safi runs and you're at that final screen, you gotta pick the ones. If you're gonna keep them, it doesn't matter what you're gonna do, because you might, turn it into something else or put different skills on there. But if it's stuff you're gonna turn into the melder here to turn into Dracolite for upgrades, then you need to know what those are worth. And you need to look at that and see, oh, ×2. So I'm going to turn this in, and I'm going to, and if you see there, the total of my large Dracolite is 452. Turn this in, and now I've got 454. I've gained 2. And let's see, we had horns for the other one. So I had that one. That's the one I'm going to turn in. So again, this one right here, Lunastra Essence, I happen to know that that's worth 5 stars because I've just done it so much. But that's the kind of stuff I'll put in the description information so that you can know what to look for when you're doing Safi runs. You go, oh, this isn't something I necessarily want, and I might not want anything in this list, but I've got Lunastra Essence, so I want to use it to level up slightly with the Smithy and then turn it into 2 large Dracolite. That's worth 5 stars. But again, net result's only worth 1, so the one I added the little extra stars to make it a 6, that's worth 2 large Dracolite. A net gain of 12 Dracolite overall. So let's turn that in. And that's pretty much it. That's my advice on how to get a lot more bang for your buck, for your time with the Safi runs, especially if you're somebody that maybe it's hard for you to get the runs done, or you just don't have time to get a bunch in. This could be really beneficial to you. As far as the Awaken Alchemy goes, this is where I was talking about turning monster parts over there into white. So this is another thing you can do is you go to the Safi Alchemy, you can turn in any of this stuff. Like if you had Celestial Wolverian Prints that you wanted to burn, I wouldn't recommend it, but if you wanted to, you can turn a Celestial Wolverian Print into one of these crystals, which then just one of them turns into 3 Safi weapons, and then you can take those Safi weapons and turn them into the Dracolite like I just showed you. As a matter of fact, let me... Yeah, why not? I'll meld one. Why not? It's not like I'm going to do anything with those crystals anyway. Yes, yes. This actually saves, by the way. This is one of the few things that'll save when you do that. Okay. So here we've got 3 random weapons. Now, when I appraise them, as you can see on the right there, attack increase 5. Well, we know that's worth 5 stars, because some stuff is obvious. That's worth 5 stars. This one, though, Affinity Increase 3, I'm not 100% on that. That might be worth a 4 or 5 star. I mean, you think you see the Affinity Increase 3, you're thinking probably first off, oh, that's worth 3 stars because of the 3. I don't know. I think that actually might be worth 4 or 5 stars. I can't remember. We're going to go check that. And then over here we've got Velkhana Essence. If I remember correctly, that's only worth 3 stars. But again, how would you know that? It's something you got to have that information first of all. So if I'm there at the Safi reward screen, I'm looking at the weapon she's got and I'm going, oh, this one's obvious. I want that. But, you know, what do I take? Velkhana or the Affinity Increase? Maybe the Velkhana is worth more. I think this one's worth more, if I remember correctly, and I think this one's worth 3. So let's go find out. So that's what I mean by turning monster parts into the weapon to level 6, and then turning them in with the Sealing Alchemy to get the Dracolite. Just kind of a process. Let's go up now to the Smithy, and I'll show you a real easy way to get to the weapons you just did the Safi runs without going through all that stuff. Let's go to upgrade equipment, hit the L1, go to the back of the line here. Oh, please tell me it didn't screw me over. Well, we've got the Drake bow here. Oh, I know what I did wrong. This is what I did wrong. So, before you do Safi runs, you want to sort this stuff. You want to sort this stuff out, because what happened is, when I turned in those weapons to the melder, it created a gap in my storage space. And so it put the axe there, and where we did that horn, it put that over with the horns, that weapon I got. Where's the horns? Okay, see, it put that light bow gun over in the horn, because I forgot that doesn't auto-fill, it just leaves a gap there. So before you do Safi runs, you're going to want to sort this stuff any way you like, but what will happen is, however you decide to sort it, when you're done with the Safi runs, you can come here to the smith, and all that stuff should line up at the back, the very back, until you sort it. And I would say that's the easiest way to work with it, is just to do that. So let's start with the bow. I know I don't need another bow. I was right. It says Awaken level 3. This is only worth 3. So this is not worth upgrading to get the large Dracolite. I'm going to actually just turn that in for the 1 large and be done with it, because it's got a really high chance of screwing me over and not giving me another 3 to add to it, because I'd have to have another 3 to make it a 6. So we're not going to mess with that. So let's go back to the beginning here. We got the axe. And actually, I might want to keep this. This is a dragon axe. Dragon switch axe. I might need that. Let me take a quick look here. Where are the switch axes? I guess I could have sort for switch axes. Ah, here we go. We got Shatter, Dream, Bind, Venom. So we do have a Drake Axe, I guess. I was starting to want to get multiples of these things. So I don't want to burn that because I wanted like 2 of them. I don't know right now how I'm going to do all my weapons for the builds for the different weapons. I know with bows, but I'm going to leave that one be for now. But normally I would take that 5 and just put in the 8 that's required just to get it leveled up, and then, you know, all I need is 1 star. So it's going to definitely give me 1 star, and it's going to turn into 2 large Dracolites. Let's go to that bowgun. That's the one I was curious on what it's worth. That's interesting. So this is only worth 3. So the Affinity Increase 3 means it's actually only worth 3. That's surprising. Sometimes stuff will have like that one says Attack Melody 3 down there, but Attack Melody 3, if I remember correctly, is worth a lot more stars. So you'll just have to look at my description for all that stuff, and if I'm missing something there, I apologize. I'll also leave a link to a couple of sites that might have information on where to find that, but I'll try to have it in there for you just to quick glance at. So the things I would turn in just for straight up large Dracolite would be that light bowgun and the bow. I'm going to do that now actually, and then I'm going to end the video. I've got a few more videos. Let's go to the Sealing Alchemy. Keeping that one for now. Want to go to, yeah, we're going to get rid of this one. We're just going to make it into 1 large. And then at the end of this page, here's that Drake bow. Yep, Glaivinous Essence. And like I said, that's my advice on how to do that. And then I got to remember to go and sort this stuff so that I don't have those holes anymore in my storage that get filled. I think there's Safi runs going on right now, actually. So I just go to upgrade here, R3, sort by tree. That fills in those gaps that were there. Okay, that does it for this. Trying to think if I were to go up to the Safi servers. There's really not much else I could show you there. So, I'm just going to end this video now. Going to update the description with that stuff you need to know, and I'll catch you with the next ones.